I mentioned the data behind summer melt texting. I just want to give you an example of really, I think, how straightforward this can be. We worked with our school district, our nonprofit partners, typically to administer high school exit surveys. And in those exit surveys, we asked students their name, if they were planning to go to college, and if so, where, and their cell phone number, and consent to receive messages. And so that's the data you see in the top spreadsheet. And then we had research assistants, or increasingly now we can just use data science strategies to scrape information from college websites. So I would go to the URI admitted students website and see what admitted students at URI have to complete. I do the same thing at Rhode Island College, the same thing at Johnson & Wales, and that goes into a separate spreadsheet. You can see there's a column for registration date, column for a link for registration, and that would go all the way to the right for tuition information, financial aid. These two spreadsheets then just get stitched together by a text messaging platform, of which there are now numerous on the market. And that allows the platforms to send out highly personalized content to each of your individual students. What's been most important to us, certainly as researchers, is to kind of design our summer melt studies in a way where we can really isolate the unique impact of these texting campaigns on student outcomes, separate from all the other factors that we know impact enrollment. And so what you see here are the results from randomized trials where we identified students who had gotten into college, planned to go, and randomly assigned them to either receive our text or not. We do that, of course, not because we want to deny students a service that might be beneficial, but to identify for educational leaders, practitioners, funders, and policymakers the benefit, the value add that these kinds of interventions can have. And what you see is for a very modest investment, summer melt texting can lead both to improvements in college enrollment overall, but particularly pronounced impacts for populations of important interest. So low-income students, first-generation college students, these text campaigns can increase enrollment by anywhere from 7 to 8 percentage points. As I mentioned before, we've since used similar texting strategies across a variety of critical transitions, so everything from helping students complete their financial aid applications in the first place or to renew financial aid. And in a moment, I'll talk about some applications further down the pipeline. What we have found is a consistent pattern of positive impacts, whether these strategies of providing students with personalized information through communications channels they're using on a daily basis and making it really easy to get assistance, positive impacts across a range of decisions. So whether that's filing a financial aid application early in the year to maximize how much aid students receive, whether that's completing supplementary financial forms like the CSS profile, or whether it's encouraging students to renew financial aid, we're seeing positive and substantial impacts from this low-cost and quite scalable strategy. I alluded a moment ago to kind of our interest in extending this even further into college, and I mentioned before this kind of near completer phenomenon. And this graph here is work that one of my colleagues, Zach Mabel at Harvard, has done, showing that a substantial share of students, as I mentioned earlier, who made it very far in college, completed 50, 75% of the credits they need to graduate, withdraw prior to earning their degree. And I think this is another great example of how administrative data can be used. This is drawn on administrative data in Florida and Ohio, I believe, and revealed a phenomenon, near completer withdrawal, that up until very recently I don't think was on many practitioners, researchers, or administrators' radar. So of course, identifying this phenomenon with administrative data the same way we did earlier with summer melt has catalyzed the development of some important intervention work to increase completion. So we're very grateful to have the support of IES and the partnership with 5 different higher education systems and institutions in Texas, Virginia, City University of New York, Ohio, and Washington to design a similar mobile messaging nudge campaign to help students who have completed substantial credits but are at risk of withdrawal to set goals for the coming term, to access beneficial academic and financial resources, and to meet and be aware of upcoming and important deadlines. And that's, for anyone who's interested, we should be posting a working paper with results from the first year of this pilot in the next week or so. So if anyone's interested, please reach out. I'm happy to share that with you.